My political outlook has been sharpened by what has happened to my homeland. Much of my ancestral land is now inaccessible to me as a consequence of the atomic testing in the Maralinga region in the 50s and 60s. As well as this, my community is suffering many of the social and physical ills that occur in other Aboriginal communities that have been dispossessed. Over the last few years, I have visited my homeland and talked with the elders and others. I have also taken the opportunity to visit Maralinga, the Field of Thunder. The result is that I have produced a number of works that comment on the atomic tests. As a closely involved person, I feel that I'm in a unique position to explore these events that are of major importance to all Australians, black and white.
He was removed from his family as a child, who were themselves displaced due to the Maralinga tests. You can feel the effect of what happened at Maralinga directly when looking at his work. His 1992 painting titled Maralinga has an eerie feel to it, as if something that once was has been washed away, lost. Before dying in 1997, he completed several works of his interpretation of the testing conducted at the Maralinga site. Maralinga is situated 800 kilometres northwest of Adelaide. Between 1956 and 1963, the Australian government granted access to the British to conduct nuclear testing. A total of 7 tests were performed, with 2 major tests conducted at the Maralinga site, Operation Buffalo and Operation Antler. The area was also used for several hundred smaller tests, intended to investigate the effects of fire or non-nuclear explosions on atomic weapons. The area was contaminated with radioactive materials. In 1967, an initial cleanup was attempted. However, the McClellan Royal Commission, in delivering its report, found that radiation hazards still existed at Maralinga, and another cleanup was recommended, which concluded in 2000, costing $108 million. In 1994, $13.5 million of compensation was paid to the local Maralinga people. The strain of those communities that lived through the testing in the 50s and 60s was great. Even almost 70 years on, several parts of the area are still inaccessible. At least 1,200 Aboriginal people were exposed to radiation during the testing and ultimately dispossessed from their homeland. The radioactive fallout, called the Black Mist by Aboriginal people, caused sore eyes, skin rashes, diarrhea, vomiting, fever, and the early death of entire families. The explosions themselves caused blindness. Long-term illnesses such as cancer and lung disease were found in the 1980s. The effect of these long-term illnesses also affect the mental health of those suffering and also their families, requiring specialist treatment, paying both respect to the illnesses and the culture of all involved. Maralinga is an important piece of art. It tells the story of an event in Australia that many are not even aware of. The test conducted at Maralinga in the 50s and 60s should never be forgotten, and the artwork reaffirms this. It gives us an insight into how those who were affected both directly and indirectly feel. I went to the National Museum of Australia to view Maralinga. Having heard of this artwork previously, I was excited to be seeing it. Maralinga is currently able to be viewed at the National Museum until the 18th of November as part of the Black Mist Burnt Country exhibition touring nationally. Within the exhibition there are several striking works. Maralinga, however, is most certainly a standout and seems to have a presence, a life of its own. I strongly recommend seeking out this work to be viewed for yourself.